Hello guys, we are back with another Naruto What If video. Now today is gonna be a good day, I might have the chance to make 2 videos today. I'm not as tired, So yeah, and there's not much to do today. I did wake up around like 12. So yeah, I guess I had 6 hours to think about what I was gonna do. So I just decided, might as well just do a what if. So I have 2 hours left in the day. So yeah. Anyways, we're just gonna have a time to where we go on to this what if. Now, also, I kind of messed up on the second video. I forgot to extend the text in the image. So, like, nearing the end, all the text disappeared, but that should not matter because the thumbnail was good and probably like half of the video from the start was already good. So, yeah. Anyways, let's just go to where we left off. So, we left off on the time where, what is this guy's name? Tazuna is speaking, right? Saying, wow, you gave me these brats. Naruto would tell him off, saying he paid for a C-rank mission, so he's gonna get Genin. And he should be thankful that he's getting even guarded at all, because, if without a guard, he probably would have been dead by now. So, yeah. Anyways, we're just gonna have a time. A time to where they start making their way into the gates, or the Konoha gates. Now, Naruto would just be having that look on his face like, yeah, I'm ready to do that mission. As this is when, Sasuke and Sakura would make it there. As they're like, seems you made it first. As like Sasuke would say this, and like, wow, his speed is definitely immeasurable. Can't even see it. It's like he just appeared here. As when they all left the Hokage office to go to the gates, they saw that Naruto just disappeared in a flash of light. As Kakashi's still wondering how that power works, is just like still taken aback. But it doesn't matter. As Tazuna would make it there along with Kakashi, Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto would be ready to leave the village. Now, they start making their way outside of the village. As this is when we're going to have a 3-hour time skip. Now, 3 hours would go by. Now that 3 hours would go by, they would walk, let's say in front of a puddle, or like to the side of a puddle, as 2 shinobi would show up, the Demon Brothers. Now, Naruto, seeing that both of them are poised to try and attack him, Naruto would, appear right in front of one and kick him with a light kick. As this man would be sent flying, he would hit a wall. As he's instantly cooked. He's just cooked. As soon as we're going to have a time to where the other brother, I think it was like Mizu and Gozu? Or something like that? Yeah, Gozu and Mizu. So, I'll say Gozu was the one that got sent flying from one of Naruto's kicks, and Mizu was the one that's going to charge up to Naruto now. As when Naruto would just send a beam straight towards his, joint area where his joints are in his shoulder. As the man would get sent flying, or not even flying, he would just fall. As it's something like, how Frieza did. Frieza did to that one guy in the Ginyu Force or whatever. So yeah. As anyways, we're just gonna have a time. Time to where Kakashi would be interrogating Gozu. As Gozu would be being interrogated, this is when we're gonna have a time to where Kakashi would be like, that's very interesting. Say, Tazuna, tell me why you lied. You lied about the mission parameters, and you also put my team at risk. Do you know the penalty for that? We can easily leave you here to die. As soon Tazuna would say, go ahead. But it'll be on your heads. It'll be your fault that the people of the mist die. My fault, my daughter and my stepson, or freaking grandson die. I'll be on you. So Naruto will be like, oh, shut the hell up. We're not canceling the mission. I'm just gonna simply have too much fun in this mission. And there's some stuff I want to test. But my powers. So Kakashi, if you do cancel the mission, I'll be going on by myself. Sasuke would agree with Naruto. Sakura would agree because Sasuke's agreeing. Now, of course, Kakashi was not gonna, disagree with the mission, no. But he's gonna ask Tazuna everything, as Tazuna would spill the beans. Now, after this, we have a time to where they get on a boat. As they start going. Now, the motor would be shut off about an hour later. As the boat driver would say, we have to stay quiet. Gato's men, they are patrolling the area. Now, Naruto would just be like, all this mist is really making it hard for me to see. As this is when Kakashi would be like, Naruto, what are you planning to do? So Naruto would say, nothing. I'm just gonna turn my light a little bit more high. As Naruto would start emanating a glow, his light power would be emanating very strong light. As this is when the boat driver would be like, hey, don't do that. That's gonna attract attention. As Naruto would say, I don't care. They could come and try and kill us, but I'll easily take care of them. As the boat driver would be like, is this kid crazy? As this is when they would dock. Now, 1 hour would go by. As this is when they would see a bunny. Now, they're crossing a bridge. As this is the bridge, and then they gotta make it after this bridge, it's gonna be 45 minutes to the house of Tazuna. Now, of course, this isn't the bridge, that big bridge that's gonna connect the lands, no. So yeah. As anyways, this is when Naruto sees a bunny and throws a kunai. As the kunai would go and bury itself into the foliage, the bunny would be, shown to be in the foliage, the grass. Asuna and Sakura would try and scold Naruto, but this is when Naruto would say, it's a winter coat. It has a white coat in the middle of spring. Which means that that's a summon, or it was nurtured inside. As Kakashi comes to this realization along with Naruto, Kakashi would say, everybody get down now! As this is when a gigantic meat cleaver of a blade comes flying down. As it comes swinging down to where everybody's heads used to be. As Naruto wouldn't move. As everyone did duck, Naruto didn't. As the blade would go straight through him obviously not getting any injuries because of course he's made of light. Naruto would then look to the direction where the blade flew as it would impale itself onto a tree. Now, this is when Zabuza of the Bloody Mist would show up. As this is where we go to his dialogue. It seems I got one of the brats. And if it isn't Kakashi the copycat ninja. Wait, what? That brat is still alive? Whoa, wait a minute. You know what? Kakashi, your brat seems to interest me. I'm pretty sure that my blade went straight through him. As to when Naruto would say, you're not mistaken, Zabuza Momoichi of the Demon of the Mist. That blade did go through me. But one simple thing you must know about me. As Naruto starts to form a blade out of light. As Naruto says, I am made out of light. So no physical attacks can harm me. As this is when Zabuza would just rush in at Naruto. As Naruto would quickly dash at him, he would swing. As Zabuza, being a little bit accustomed to this light speed attacks from Haku, would easily dodge. Now, this is when Kakashi would say, no, wait, Naruto, you're not accustomed to this. You might not be strong enough, even if you can't get hurt. As this is when, Naruto would say, the only way I can get hurt is if this guy uses... Wait. No, I can't say that. That's my weakness. As, Naruto's weakness is water. So, yeah. As anyways, this is when, Naruto would get caught off guard. As, Zabuza would, put chakra in his hand, covered in water. As he doesn't know, but, he was a little bit like covered in water a little bit because he was planning on using water clones. So yes, his hand was wet. Now, as he uses this, he would grab Naruto, surprisingly able to actually grab him and throw him to a tree. As Naruto would be like, what the heck? As Naruto forms a beam between his fingers, he would send it straight towards Zabuza. As behind Zabuza, when he dodges, a gigantic explosion would occur. That's when Zabuza starts summoning water clones, as Kakashi would try and rush in. Now, as Kakashi does rush in, Kakashi would not notice one thing. You see, Naruto seemingly was about to get stabbed. Now, Kakashi saw that Zabuza was actually able to grab Naruto. So he was thinking, what if Zabuza found Naruto's weakness? Now, of course, this is not true. The only time Zabuza, he accidentally found Naruto's weakness, and it wasn't even intentional, because he was just going to plan on making water clones, so he just made his hands wet with the water from the lake that was next to them. That's when Zabuza would get kicked, as Naruto kicks him into the water, obviously dodging the attack that was coming for him, as Kakashi was about to take that attack for him, but Naruto said that it's alright. As anyways, Zabuza gets kicked into the water. As Naruto would step one foot in, as he's like, yeah, I'm not getting in there. Kakashi, that's all you. As Zabuza seeing this would be like, seems the brat can't water walk. Or maybe, as he would be thinking, he would summon a whole bunch of water clones. As soon the water clones would start fighting with Naruto, Kakashi would fight the real Zabuza. As this is when we have a time. A time to where Naruto would just make 4 clones. As 2 would go next to Sasuke, they would start making a plan. Now, Naruto would be taking care of the clones with ease, except when one would kick him. As Naruto gets kicked and flung into the water, Naruto would then hit the water as he starts to drown, or he just starts to freeze up. He freezes up and starts to sink. As this is when those 2 clones from before would show up. As Sasuke would throw 2 kunais, Kakashi being caught by the water prison jutsu, those 2 kunais would fly to Zabuza. As Zabuza would have, hit one of the kunais or the big shurikens away, Sasuke would be going in to grab Naruto as he gets him out. As the second shuriken flew past Zabuza, but this is when it poofed and turned into a clone. As this is when that clone would throw a kunai. Now, Zabuza would have to let go of the water jutsu. As anyways, this is when Naruto is out of the water, as he starts coughing up water. Now, this is when Naruto is mad, as he starts to float. This is when Naruto, sends a whole bunch of lights, beams, everywhere, just everywhere. As so Naruto would then shoot a beam directly into Zabuza's shoulder, as Zabuza would get hit 3 times in the shoulder by beams. This is when he would fall back. As a Hunternin would show up, taking him away. Now, as this all happens, Naruto would be like, well, it looks like they already know my weakness. As Zabuza did notice when Naruto fell in the water, he didn't get back up. Which meant that whatever, he might have just not been able to swim, but Zabuza never heard about a shinobi who was never able to swim. So he just thought that, yeah, that's Naruto's weakness now. As we were gonna have a time to where Naruto, along with Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura, and Tazuna, would make their way to Tazuna's house. As Kakashi, not having to use the water dragon jutsu, is not going to be knocked out by the chakra strain of it all. So yeah. As anyways, we're just going to have a time. A time to where Naruto would be in the house of Tazuna. As Inari would say, why are you guys even here? As he would walk up to his room. As, they just got to the house, so he's not going to go on that spiel about, complaining that his father died and that they don't have any chance yet. No, he won't be saying that yet. It's not dinner time. As anyways, we're just gonna have a time to where Naruto and the rest of the team would rest. They would all wake up. Now it is nighttime, as dinner time would be called. Tsunami would say, "All right, it's dinner, come down," as they would all do so. Now this is when Inari would come down, asking why these shinobi are here. If they're all just gonna die. As Naruto would say, "Excuse me?" As Inari would say, "You heard me. You are all gonna die. There's no hope of beating Gato." Beating Gato. As Naruto would say, "Why is that?" As Inari would say, "Because Gato killed my father. So it means there's no hope. He'll kill anybody and everybody who opposes him." As Naruto would say, "Yeah, I still don't see the problem. Just because he killed one man doesn't mean that he's unstoppable." As when Inari would say, the hell do you not understand?" "Oh, right. You're just naive like everybody else. You probably have never lived a hard life to understand any of this, haven't you?" Because this is when Naruto would look at the boy, as his face would turn mad, but then to a look of pity. He says, "People like you who lay down on the ground and get beaten without fighting back is the people that I pity the most. You talk about me having an easy life, but I've had the worst life ever. You probably never even lived one day in it. I'll tell you one thing about me. Ever since I was 5, I was always being chased and beaten, kicked out of the orphanage at 4. But after 5 years old, I just decided to reject all that. I didn't allow anyone else to hurt me. Because you know what? I'm not weak like you, Inari." As Inari would go up to his room, sad, crying, Tsunami would be asking Naruto, "Did that really happen? Was he really chased? Was he really beaten? Was he really kicked out of the orphanage?" As Naruto would say, "Yeah." As anyways, we're just gonna have a time to the next day. So Naruto decides he's gonna go training, as Kakashi was teaching them how to water walk, tree walk, but only tree walking. But Naruto actually specially asked Kakashi if he can teach him how to water walk. Because if he doesn't know how to water walk, well, it's over for him. Like, one dip in the water and he just frozen, okay? So yeah, Naruto would relatively be good at knowing how to do tree walking and water walking. So yeah, Naruto would just be practicing that for about a week. As 1 week would go by, Naruto would be training in the middle of the forest, just, using his light abilities, as a boy would show up, or a girl in Naruto's eyes. As he would, he would be talking. He says, "Hello?" As Haku would wake up Naruto from sleeping in the middle of the forest, saying, "Hey, you'll get sick if you sleep out here." As Naruto would say, "Yeah, I don't get sick often. Anyways, what do you want?" As Haku would say, "Well, hello, my name is Haku." As he would start it on a good note. He doesn't want to, say or answer Naruto and, what he wants. He just says his name is Haku. So Naruto would be like, "All right, I guess we'll start it off. Let's start again. My name is Naruto Uzumaki." As Haku would smile at this, Haku would ask, "Why do you train?" So Naruto would say, "I don't have a clue. I really train for my own betterment. The only reason why I train is to get stronger and to understand my techniques better. I guess it's a way to be able to handle my techniques so it doesn't go out of control." As Haku would be like, "That's very interesting of you." As Naruto's would glow yellow for a second, Naruto in that 1 second would have analyzed Haku, seeing the type of stance, Haku was doing. Haku had a sort of stance as a shinobi, like a hunter ninja. Very subtle, very subtle details showed that. So yeah. So anyways, they would talk for about an hour, as Naruto and Haku would become somewhat of best friends. As anyways, a while would go by. As a couple of days would go by, they would continue meeting up in the forest. As on the 13th day, Haku would say, "Look, Naruto, I'm the hunter nin, if you didn't know." So Naruto would be like, I had my suspicions, but I didn't really want to go through with them. I didn't want to say. You probably would have thought of me as someone that was weird, accusing you of something. But I guess you decided to tell me on your own. But anyways, what does this have to do with anything? As Haku would say, look, I can't really abandon what I'm doing. I have to protect my loved ones. As Naruto was like, oh, I understand. I would do the same if I were you. As Haku would just smile, saying that he hopes he doesn't see him tomorrow on that bridge. As Naruto would say the same. Now, as the next day rolls around, Naruto would wake up late, as usual, as he comes downstairs seeing two bandits trying to kill the mother of Inari. As Naruto and Inari did become sort of like brothers, after that argument that they had. So Naruto would appear right behind both of the men that were gonna try and kill Tsunami, as he would grab them both by the head. Now Naruto would appear and just throw them out into this space or sky or whatever. That's how strong, he threw them. So yeah. So Naruto would just appear on the bridge. As Naruto sees an ice mirror, he sees Sasuke. As Sasuke is being punctured by mirrors, Naruto would just shoot one of the mirrors as the mirror would explode. Now, of course, this only worked once, and that's on the outside of the mirrors. You see, the outside is not reflective, but when Naruto goes in the mirrors, as he does, Naruto would then shoot another beam, but this beam would then deflect off, as it starts bouncing around each and every mirror. Yes, the mirrors are taking damage. The ice mirrors are taking damage every single hit, but it's still in the danger zone of hitting Naruto or Sasuke. If it hits Naruto, well, yeah, he just gets taken out by his own attack. And so Naruto would grab the beam mid-air and throw it outside of the mirrors. Naruto says, well, I guess I have to get you out, Sasuke. As he would grab him, appearing outside, throwing Sasuke, and then appearing back in. As Naruto would say, so Haku, as Haku would take off his mask, seeing that there's no point in hiding his face anymore. He did tell Naruto that he was the hunter nin. So Naruto would say, so Haku, what's the plan here? Because you know that I can't be hurt. As is when Haku would say, well, you see, Zabuza told me something very important. You didn't come up for air when you got kicked into the water, which made him think that your weakness is actually water. And he heard that conversation that you were saying that your weakness was, but then you said, I shouldn't say that because that's my weakness. Which made him come to a conclusion, say that water was your weakness. As Haku would form Ice Senbon, they would be thrown at Naruto, but Naruto would dodge. As each and every time he dodges and Senbon are thrown, it gets harder and harder to dodge. And so Naruto would get pierced in the left shoulder. Now, as this happens, Haku would just be like, this kid is very interesting. You're very interesting, Naruto. As this is when Ice Senbon would start to, target Naruto. This is when Naruto decides to use an attack. Sky Barrage. Light Sky Barrage. As stars in the sky would start to form, they would then blast down as all the mirrors would shatter. Now, as this happens, Haku would be sent flying, asking what that attack was. So Naruto would say, it was something that I used. I was training in the middle of the night in the Konoha village, as this is when I came up with an idea to shoot my light into a star, or to create stars by just shooting up light into the air. And when they come flying down, they do more damage than ever. As Haku would be like, it's very interesting of you, Naruto. As the climax of the battle is about to commence, this is when Haku would run As he sees that Zabuza is about to get pierced, he would take the Chidori. So Naruto would have a little bit of sadness to this. His best friend was just killed. Well, his second best friend, because, there is Sasuke. So, yeah. As anyways, we're just going to have a time. A time to where Naruto would appear, grabbing Haku. So he starts to, he starts to cry over Haku's death. This is when Gato would show up, clapping, saying, "So, if it isn't the Demon of the Mist, Zabuza Momoichi, getting beaten by a whole bunch of brats, huh? Well then, I wasn't even gonna pay you anyway. You know what that means, man? If you can't get the job done, you gotta do it yourself, am I right?" So they all would start cheering. Now Naruto would put down the body of Haku, laying him down to rest. Naruto would form two blades of light and charge into the crowd. As after a minute, everybody would have been killed. Now, as this happens, Zabuza would be like, "This kid, he's something else." But, Zabuza would get caught off guard by one of the bandits. As one of the bandits appear right behind him, one of the bandits would stab him straight in the chest, hitting his lung and almost severing his spine. And so when Zabuza would then hit the man, as the man would be killed in an instant. Now as this happens, Naruto would look at Gato, as Gato would be grabbed by the neck. So Naruto would say, "Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to be kicked at the speed of light?" As this is when Naruto would drop Gato and charge up an attack. Gato would be kicked. This kick would kill him. As this is going to be the end to the end of part 3 to what if Naruto had the light fruit. Really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, because it seemed you guys really liked part 1 and part 2. So yeah, I kind of did a little bit not as good, but it is my story. I kind of had to change it up a little bit. But I feel like this route that I did take was a little bit better. I didn't want to make Naruto a little overpowered. I didn't want to make him underpowered. It was a kind of, balanced because, it just had to make it balanced. But anyways, really hope you guys enjoyed. And hope you guys have a nice day. And I'm out. Peace.